is Sam Chanot. I'm here with Janelle Monae. How are you doing today, Janelle?
I'm very, very well, hanging in there.
Yeah, thanks for the awesome set. It was really incredible.
Thank you, Doug.
How would you describe the energy of the crowd today?
They were very, very undefinable.
Undefinable.
Yeah,
Okay.
you can't really, my words lack the energy that I got from them. I'm big on energy, and so we were communicating with one another through love and fire. It felt like, they were giving me back what I was giving, and then some. So I'm just very thankful to be here and to have performed.
Yeah, the interaction between you guys seemed great.
Thank you.
Moving on to the ArchAndroid, I think it's one of the most ambitious creative albums of the year. I know you've described it as like an emotion picture. What did you mean by that?
Yeah, it's just an emotion picture for the mind. We intended for it to evoke emotions that we just hadn't been in touch with in a very long time. And visually, I wanted the listener to be able to visualize what was going on as they were playing the songs. We were really inspired by films from Alfred Hitchcock, to name one. But we took a very cinematic approach. We have movie trailers that go along with the ArchAndroid. And so it's an emotion picture, and we'll continue to develop visuals for every song to stretch out the emotions even further visually.
I know traditionally the Android has been kind of viewed as a very dark, dystopian sort of figure, but in your hands it's a more hopeful sort of thing.
Yes.
Why do you have that approach to this particular figure?
Well, mainly because I believe in the power of unity and love, and we have to have a mediator. The ArchAndroid is very special. She's not just an android, she's the Arch, very similar to the Archangel in the Bible, Neo in the Matrix, the chosen one to bridge together the haves and the have-nots, the oppressed, the oppressor. And that's why she's very, very important. I do believe that we will live in a world with androids very soon. Because of the rapid speed of technology, and every 2 years nanotechnology becoming faster and smaller. And Ray Kurzweil, who I admire, a futurist, proposes the idea of the singularity, when androids' minds will have mapped out that of the humans and their knowledge will have surpassed that of ours. And I always pose the question, are we going to oppress the android when we're living amongst one another? How are we all going to get along? Are we going to teach our kids to fear them? And I think that's a question that we need to ask ourselves. Are we going to allow history to repeat itself again and try to enslave those, that make you feel uncomfortable? So we need a mediator. And the music and the message, and me as an artist, I've always wanted to be the mediator. In Metropolis, there's a saying that says the mediator between the mind and the mind and the hands is the heart. And I've always considered myself in the music that we create. I've always wanted to represent the heart of it all.
That's wonderful. Yeah, I skimmed through, you mentioned Ray, I don't want to mispronounce his last name.
Kurzweil. Mm-hmm.
Right, the spirituality of, what was
the
it?
singularity is near.
Right. Yeah, very, very interesting stuff.
Yeah.
And in your hands, it seems like the android is equatable to the other.
Absolutely. I've spoken about that in interviews. The android represents the new other. I think I can relate to that because, at one point in time in my life, we've all felt like the other, even if it was for 2 minutes. That feeling of being like, okay. And it's really about just us embracing ourselves, embracing the things that make us unique. I'm huge on individuality and just respecting our differences and celebrating our differences.
Yeah, we've seen a lot of great music here today. We've seen everything from Al Green to the Rebirth Brass Band, kind of like soul and funk's future and past. Do you consciously kind of integrate those sort of influences into your music, or is it just something that's more natural to you?
I don't really go into it thinking about it. I like how the music makes me feel. And I definitely have looked to artists in the past because they've left an inspiring mark in my life and in music. And I feel like I want to help preserve certain energies and music that helped lift us up during tough times and kept us dancing. I think as an artist, I think we should definitely help preserve elements, because when those elements are out, we're lost.
With the new album, it ties in really nicely to Metropolis, I think. For you, what comes first, the concept and the story, or the music itself?
Well, it's a balancing act. You know, for us, we wanted to make sure that the music could stand alone, and you didn't have to know anything about the concept. You know, we wanted people to listen to the songs and it evoke emotions, and you know, and there's a concept. I'm a writer. I've written musicals for a very, very long time, and I was heavily involved in the musical theater world and the young playwrights world. So naturally, I speak through story. You know, and so I think there's a world where it all can live. You just have to balance it all out, and you know, do what feels good. Don't do anything for political reasons. You know, just do what feels good.
I mean, I think you really balance narrative and music better than almost any artist out today, and I applaud you for it.
I try. I appreciate that. Thank you.
Yeah, and I think that's kind of our time at this point.